Are you frustrated because you do not have enough bottom of the funnel leads to satisfy your sales team? Would you love to be a lead nurturing ninja but simply don't know where to begin? Let's talk about that. Hello, my name is Bill Arnold. I am president of Prevail Marketing. You may find us at prevailmarketing.com, and every single day we try to give you a video that will help you get better, grow your business better through better sales and marketing. And for the last couple of days, we've been talking about lead nurturing and how it's vitally important. Why is it vitally important? 96% of the time when someone comes to your website the first time, they're not ready to buy. They don't even know who you are. So they come to learn about how you can help them solve their problems or concerns or issues they might have. They're not ready to consider you as a business partner yet. They're just trying to figure out what they can possibly do. And even when they do figure out what they need to do, it takes about 7 to 8 touch points before they're really ready to start trusting you and start moving down that sales funnel. And one of the best ways to get those touch points is lead nurturing. And we talked yesterday about several different techniques and strategies you can use, including retargeting of leads, display ads across the social media internet when they go looking for other ideas. Within the first 72 hours, it's very critical because they're looking at other ideas, they're looking at other companies, they're looking at other opportunities out there that they might satisfy their problem, and you want to be in their face right there when they're looking, reminding them to come back and digest additional new content. We talked about how doing that similar strategy through social media targeting is very, very important. But today we're going to talk about the most impactful way, the way that probably everybody understands the most. We're going to talk about email drip campaigns and why they are probably the most predominant way people do lead nurturing. Why? Let's talk about what email does specifically. Email nurturing leads generates 50% more sales-ready leads. This is a process of educating them through a drip campaign. It reduces the cost of those leads by 33%. Marketers have seen a 77% increase in lead engagements. People are looking for nurturing leads, provided they do some of the best practices we're going to talk about. And of course, if you nurture them properly, they tend to buy it at a much greater rate and a 47% increase in what they actually purchase. So there's lots of economic reasons for doing this. But I'm going to give you another statistic, which is going to make you throw your hands up in a little despair. Every single day, your targeted personas are getting over 121 business emails. 121 business emails, and it's your job to figure out how you're going to stand out, how you're going to make them open up your email when they're not opening up 95% of the others. Today we're going to talk about those best practices and how you can incorporate them so you are one of the lucky people who gets their emails read and, even more importantly, gets the email acted upon. So let's start rattling off some of these best practices you need to adhere to. The first one is list segmentation. What is list segmentation? Well, it's really the idea that not everybody needs to see everything. They need to see the information that's most relevant to them at the time it's most relevant. So if they're top of the funnel, which where they're going to start in almost every case, they need to see content that relates to their problems, issues, concerns, and what the various solutions are. Not about you, not about how you compare against other competitors, not about your pricing, not about case studies. They're not ready to digest this. They haven't even considered you as a partner. You need to address their problems and concerns at the top of the funnel, but you need to do so in a way that segments that list not only by where they are in the buyer's journey, but by their buyer persona. Okay, their buyer persona may be a CEO will need to see something different than a mid-level person. There also might be a case where, depending where they are located in the United States, around the world, they need to see something different. So if someone who's coming from England, who's doing something, needs to see something different than someone in the United States. So you segment this list by a lot of factors. How do you know how to segment the list? How do you know the factors? Through lead scoring. Okay, lead scoring. And I've actually put up on our website an example of the lead scoring sheet we use. Feel free to go there and look at it. But really, it looks at a number of factors. It looks at the behavioral aspects of what they've done, what their behavior activity has been, the level of engagement. Have they opened up blogs? Have they opened up ebooks? How many times they've come to your site? What type of engagements have they had with you? The social graphic engagement, the geographic engagement, the psychographic engagement, and demographics. All that is factored in. Sounds like a mouthful, doesn't it? All that's factored in, and points are given for each of those elements, for activity within each of those screens, and taken away. For example, if they use a generic Gmail account to come to you and talk to try to download material, and you let them, it's a deduction because they're not using a business account. So certain things will add points, certain things will deduct points. And when they get to certain points or get to certain activities, it will automatically trigger a different stage in that buyer's journey. a different set of lead nurturing that they get. So, for example, if they get enough points, maybe they'll go from the awareness stage to the consideration stage, and that automatically switches the content they will receive. Intuitively, once they identify the fact that because their behavior, that they're the CEO and their persona is a decision maker, they're going to get a different workflow than when you identify someone may be the mid-level manager who's gathering information, who's going to be the influencer, inside influencer. All that's done through lead scoring. Personalization. Okay, one of the key things you need to have is personalize the content. Everyone needs to feel special. Nobody wants to feel like a number. 41% of your prospects will look elsewhere if you do not personalize the content. So what does personalization mean? Personalization means much more than just putting their name in the subject line and in the first line of the email. If you use a marketing automation platform like HubSpot, you can not only personalize the name, first and last name, the company, where their location, and even CTAs can be based upon a number of factors. So you want to personalize this context so they really feel connection. You don't want them to think, I'm getting this form letter, I'm getting this form email. You're getting an email that is really addressed to their pain points, interests, and concerns, who they are, where they are in the buyer's journey. It's important. Not only did I mention before that there was the fact 41% proximal for bounce, okay? Personalized campaigns have a 29% greater open rate and a 41% higher click-through rate. So it's impactful to personalize it. There's a basis for personalizing. If you're not using a marketing automation platform, it's really, really hard to do. So get one. That's rule number one. Compelling subject lines. Okay, the only purpose of the subject line, the only purpose is to get them to open up that email. That's it. So you have to make that subject line impactful. It's got to be so impactful that, you know what, if they're scrolling through TikTok, they went through something, oh, I need to scroll back because that caught my attention. Even though I didn't open it, I need to go back and open it. That needs to be that impactful. So personalize it with their name, make it impactful, make it short as possible, but make it have integrity. What do I mean by that? If I open it up and I don't see right away the connection between what you promised in that subject line and what you're delivering in that email, not only will I leave immediately, I'm never going to open up an email from you again. So you have to have credibility, you have to have legitimacy in what you open up. It's got to be impactful, but it has to be honest, it has to have integrity. Another cardinal rule of lead nurturing campaigns is every single lead nurturing campaign has to have value. If it doesn't have value, don't send it. And what I mean by that is never send an email that's saying, look, ready to buy? Can I get ready to talk to me? No, they're not. And they don't want to hear that from you. Every single email you send out has to have new and relevant content, something they have not seen before. So, for example, maybe they downloaded a 75-page ebook. Okay, great. They downloaded an ebook. Now what do I do next? There's lots of things, a 2 to 4 page guide, an infographic, a video, testimonials from, as you get farther down the pipeline, testimonials from experts saying why this solution is the best solution. All sorts of things you can create for them. And you can create them in different formats. Some are going to be written, some are going to be videos, some are going to be pictorial like infographics. But each one has to be unique and each one has to be valuable. Someone asked me a long time ago, how many emails can I send out? And there are too many. My answer is very simple. As long as they opened up the last one and gathered the content that you were giving to them, you're free to send them the next one. The moment they start not opening them up, you realize you've lost them. And you need to either figure out whether it's something they found from another competitor or it's something that you didn't send them or didn't do properly. And if a lot of people are stopping at that point, it's probably you. So send them new and relevant content each time. Also, it has to be a natural progression of the nurturing campaign. Now, I think I mentioned earlier that sometimes the progression is at the awareness stage, there's 8 different nurturing emails. And they only move off of that is that they do a triggering event which causes them to the consideration stage. The triggering event could be seeking a bottom of the funnel content. The triggering event could be accumulating enough points that I know they're ready for consideration stage. Because one of the things I didn't mention, even though I'm going to send them new and original content on every single email, I'm always going to give them an opportunity for a bottom of the funnel action. There's always going to be a link at the bottom, a button at the bottom, that's going to say, ready to talk to sales. So they can pick the button that says, I want to download this piece of content, the one you promised them, the one that's going to be impactful to them. Or if they decided, well, I'm ready to actually talk to sales, I don't need to download this. You want to make sure there's no friction in the system. You want to give them that opportunity. But let's just say you're having a full funnel. Sometimes we've created, particularly for new companies who do not have a lot of content and do not have a lot of other materials we can use, we sometimes have a full funnel nurturing campaign that goes from top of the funnel awareness all the way down to the bottom of the funnel. 8 steps at least. And we include those 8 steps, new and relevant content. If you go back to our blog on the site, I've included an example of what 8 steps look like, what type of content we contain for each 8 steps. And we actually send it out every 3 to 5 days, not counting weekend or holidays. That pace seems to be ideal. It's soon enough that you're still fresh in their mind, but it's not too long that, it's not too close together that they, feel you're spamming them. Keep your emails short and sweet. What do I mean by that? No more than 20 lines or 200 words. That is the maximum. Why? Because that's what they're going to open up the most. Those are the biggest click-through rate when you have 20 lines or 200 words. That's HubSpot's study, not mine. I believe them. Make sure it's readable. Readability is critical. I mean, I keep it down to an 8th grade level. I've heard some reports say 3rd grade level. I mean, I can't do that. I just can't get myself to do that. But at an 8th grade level, you've got a 36% opening rate, better open rate from a college level readability, and 17% higher than in the high school level readability. So keep that. I always require every single campaign, every single email, every single activity that I require from my people, for my clients, that every one of them has at least 1, if not 2, elements from the law of influence. It's everything. So, if you don't know what the laws of influence are, they're the psychological triggers that people universally rely upon to make decisions or use to have shortcuts. I require that every single email incorporate at least one of those because they work. So I've got a blog on that, The Laws of Influence, Psychology of Getting to Yes. If you haven't read it, go back and read it. I've got a video on that. If you haven't heard it, go back and listen to it. Marketing automation. Again, you need a marketing automation tool to do a lot of this personalization, a lot of these workflows, a lot of the switching from a one workflow to another. Has to be done, marketing automation, has to be done according to lead scoring. If you don't have one, go look at HubSpot. If you need help securing it, let us know. We can offer you some advice there. Finally, follow the numbers. What do I mean by follow the numbers? I mean that we track everything. We track 400 KPIs. We track every CTA. We track the open rate, the click-through rate of every email we send out. We check the performance of everything. And you need to be doing that too. Because if you found as you're sending out a nurture campaign, everyone stopped at email 4. Doesn't go beyond email 4, or at least most drop off at that point. You have a problem. You need to know that. You need to fix that. You need to establish that. You need to know if it's a CTA, if it's the content, it's the messaging, it's the subject line. You need to A/B test everything and optimize everything. That's how you win the game of marketing. It's a game of inches. Anyone said that, you can have a walk-off home run? Yes, you can. And we've done it, and we've celebrated those. But more than not, it's the game of inches that you win the game of marketing and sales with. It's those incremental improvements. So that's basically lead nurturing emails in a nutshell. Again, remember the important is they build relationships. The idea is that you're going to, over a series of emails, make them feel like you know who they are, you know their problems, you know their concerns, and you're their trusted advisor. That's the way you want to get. You want to educate them, because if you're not educating them, I promise you someone else. If you do it properly, it's going to shorten the sales cycle, it's going to reduce your marketing cost, and it's going to give your sales team ample people to be talking to who truly want to have that conversation. So, if you found this valuable, thank you. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe, whatever's appropriate on the channel you're getting. If you'd like more information, hey, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to answer emails, fill out a form, give us a call. I know you could be anywhere you want to be tonight, but you took time listening to this. So I thank you and have a good night.